is a story. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Here we are, January 2017. Lots of changes, lots of evolutions. So this is the deal. In 2016, I got the vision, the picture, the reality, the sense that the demographics were breaking off, splitting off. However, it's become very clear in the last 6 weeks that I'm picking up on something that's happening in the future. It's not quite happened yet, but what has happened is that the demographics, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, all the signs, these demographics that are on these evolutionary narratives, they're unfolding, spiraled evolutionary stories in particular themes. I do believe, I feel, I sense that they've split. And so what I'm going to be doing, and this is going to be more work, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be doing this, but what I've started to do for 2017, January, is for each demographic, I am doing 2 readings. So there's a split happening. There's a certain populace of people, there's a certain evolutionary story that's unfolding for, let's say, half, or at least a quantity, maybe even a third, a quantity of Aries. And then there's another storyline unfolding for another populace, another segment of the Aries demographic. It's the same for Taurus, etc. So let's get started on the year. I'll explain it as we go through the reading this month. Everyone, so there's a lot to talk about as we complete 2016 and we enter into 2017. So of course, this is our January 2017 Alchemy Scope, right? This series of Alchemy Scopes for this new beginning of a new cycle. And indeed it is. So let's start with talking about the numerology. 2016 was a 9-year. It was a hard year for many, many people out there. It was a very tough year. On the collective scale, it was a very tough year. In fact, this 9-year of 2016 was about endings, completion. It was about old patterns coming up to the surface for healing, for seeing. So as we complete this 9-year, we enter into 2017. Which is a 1 year. 2017, 2, 0, 1, and 7 together add up to 10. This 10 year adds up 1 and 0 to 1. All right? 1 is initiation. It's individuation. It's the individual. It's initiative and innovation. It is a new beginning. 1 is a new cycle. It is literally the new seed. So as most of you know who have tuned into my Alchemy Scopes forever, since I've begun, or even more recently, you realize that these Alchemy Scopes are always attuned to natural cycles. So they're always aligned with the new moon portal point. And the new moon is a new seeding time. Indeed, everybody, 2017 for all of us on the collective scale is representing energetically a new seeding time. It's a new moon on a massive scale. So we're entering into a new phase of a 9-year cycle. So this 2017 year is about new beginnings. So this is fantastic. And I have to tell you, everything that I'm going to bring up now is aligning with this message of 2017. Ironically, on this new moon point where we are officially kind of beginning, this is post-winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, and entering into this new cycle for the year, I'm recording this, of course, before this Capricorn new moon, right before January 2017 begins. This new moon point, this Capricorn new moon, is the third of the last 3 months of a 7-degree new moon point. Scorpio had a 7-degree new moon, Sagittarius had a 7-degree new moon, and Capricorn has a 7-degree new moon. In fact, to be exact, the new moon that is occurring on the 28th/29th of December is at 7 degrees 59 minutes Capricorn. Now, everybody, the amazing thing that's aligning with this new moon, this new beginning point, that is representing for us the beginning of the chapter, the pre-chapter of the calendar year shifting to 2017, is that Uranus goes direct on the same day as our new moon. Now, if that weren't enough, we have the most amazing Sabian symbol, everybody. Listen to this. The Sabian symbol that is imbued at 7 degrees Capricorn is this. In a sunlit home, domesticated birds sing joyously. The keynote that Dane Rudhyar writes is the wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. The wholesome happiness which subservience to the ideals and patterns of a well-established culture brings to those who accept them unreservedly. So let me read on. In various ways, this section of the cyclic process brings to us images glorifying the power and benefits which a steady and well-integrated society brings to its members. Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn was the ruler of the Golden Age before he became a symbol of binding limitations. The person who accepts willingly, or even better, takes for granted the value of these limitations, can lead a serene and happy existence, whatever the social status. This stage suggests to us how we can enjoy our life condition by allowing the spiritual values it embodies to fill our consciousness. In every condition provided by a healthy culture, which hardly refers to our present chaotic world, human beings can find enjoyment in the roles they are born to play. Everybody, with 2017 equating to the energy of a 1 year, a new cycle, a new birth, individuation. This is about you becoming you. This is about you as a distinct soul print, a distinct individual, stepping into your uniqueness, your distinctness, and doing you. This could not be more aligned with the bigger picture. I mean, it's quite something. So this particular symbology is imbued not only for this particular new moon, but at the point at which Uranus is going direct. And Uranus is the individual. It is our distinct genius self. It's our uniqueness, our distinctness. So there's no accident. There's complete alignment with the fact that Uranus is going direct and that it's happening on this new moon. And this new moon is the third of 3 sevens. And this particular symbol is the picture. This is birds singing joyously in a sunlit home. This is about emanation. Sun emanates. This home is safety, security. It's the self. It's the body. Everybody, this is quite something, you know. Now, let's talk about this new cycle. So you heard me say in the introduction to this video that I had been getting a call for a long time now, actually. This is since last spring. So spring of 2016, I got a really clear picture that that these demographics of the signs are going to start to split. That there's going to be a threading of the story. It's going to fray out, because as people step into their individuation, as people understand that they are distinct, as they understand they are a powerful, distinct facet of consciousness, of source, they are going to break, they're going to go into more of their aligned soul print path. And the general demographics for the unfolding is going to shift and change. The thing is, I tend to pick up on things well before they manifest. So when I picked this up in spring 2016, it wasn't necessarily happening yet. What I got clear on in the last 6 to 8 weeks is that there is a split, but it's not threaded out into many different facets of story. So for example, instead of the demographic of Aries continuing on a general evolutionary path of unfolding narrative, it is split, but it's now split in two. So there's a distinct evolution upward, and there's another evolution going in another direction. As we move from a stable state into a chaotic state, as people continue to unveil and awaken and really align with their distinct soul print, they will not follow a general narrative. So yes, there is a split now. Is that split going to further break into different threads of story? Yes. At some level in the next couple of years, I don't necessarily foresee these particular readings following any particular thick storied narrative. They might, because again, I see things well in advance, years in advance of sometimes this stuff happening. So it could be that it's 5 years down the road, but maybe it's sooner. It's going to depend on how quickly people wake up and how people really... I think what's happened for me in the last 6 to 8 weeks is I've realized the level at which people are still strongly asleep. And so because that's the case, the understanding that I've gotten, the clarity that I asked for and that I received was that indeed there is a split, but right now it's only a bifurcation. It's only a split into two. So that's what we're going to proceed with. So let's move forward into the individual signs, and we're going to take a look and see one or two, A or B, left or right, because I am going to show you two different spreads and two different I Ching narratives. Okay? And one of those is going to align more for your story. All right, so let's get started. So I'd like you to meditate on two forms, square and circle. Square and circle. Now, if you'd like to align the form square with the number 1 or with the directional identifier right, you can do that. And I want you to also meditate on the form circle or number 2. It can also be B of A and B, or left of right and left. But I think the easiest way, because you're my very first recording, you know, I'm doing this split spread situation now for the first time, and I really do, it is my very authentic intention to make this easy and smooth as opposed to more complicated. It is absolutely against my deep desires to make any of this complicated, but unfortunately there's more information coming through. So I'm going to bring it, at least for now, I'm going to bring it forward, and I will attempt to be as clear and concise as possible. I think that square and circle, tapping into the forms, are going to be the easiest for people. because it's not about one being better than two. In fact, it's not that at all. A being the first letter in the alphabet, B being the second. There's always some hierarchical association that humans do with that stuff. And because I didn't want that, I think that square and circle are going to be best. So tap in. And once you know what it is, that is your form. So for all of these alchemy scopes coming forward, you are going to be square. You're not going to go back and forth between square and circle. Now, could it be that you kind of switch paths, or that you shift trajectory? Anything's possible. Absolutely anything is possible. But you're not going to flip-flop back and forth every month. If you pick square or if you pick circle, I am doing the readings according to those pathways. Okay? So let's begin. We're starting with square. So if you selected square as the resonant form for you, that means that that is your unfolding trajectory at this time. Cancer squares. So let's take a look and see what is the unfolding narrative for you this month. For you, you received 2 I Ching hexagrams to denote your microcycle, your unfolding story. You received number 36, darkening of the light, and it came with changing lines, and it became number 55, great abundance. Together, this is the underlying narrative for Cancer squares. Darkening of the light is about fear, the fear that emerges when the light goes down and we're not sure what is going to emerge out of the darkness. And number 55, great abundance, has to do with abundant flow, not just of money and possessions, but of relationships and love and all that moves us in life. So great abundance is about flow. So there's a fear for the Cancer squares, perhaps about the abundance of relationships or the lack thereof, right? The evolution for you this month is number 59, Pythia. This is from Penny Slinger's 64 Dakini Oracle. And Pythia is the Oracle priestess. So for you to receive this as the evolution for you, who you are to embody, what this is saying is there are things that want to be spoken to you, but you need to be quiet and you need to go slow and you need to listen, because you have naturally the intuitive ability to collect the information that lives within you and that wants to come to you very profoundly, but you need to become the oracle in order to receive the wisdom. The wisdom does live within you. So you are to become the oracle, the depth of intuitive oracle that snake, that the python represents. Okay, so Pythia is about going deep within yourself and becoming the oracle, becoming almost intoxicated with the spiritual essence of you so that you can access depths of wisdom, depths of information. Now, Cancer squares, let's go to your reading. You can see here that I'm using these yellow bordered cards. These are the Volatile deck from Dammon here. And then I'm also selecting a Druidcraft Tarot card for the center of the reading to give us another aspect of the reading, this central core message. In the center, you have the Power card. Potere in Italian is power. Power, loneliness, and the Two of Cups reversed. So indeed, for the squares, the Cancer squares over this cycle, there is a powerful sense of loneliness around the lack of relationship. Two of Cups reversed is no love, no connection, no relationship, or a lack thereof. Maybe you have relationships, but they're not thriving. And again, that's speaking to this undercurrent narrative that is this darkening of the light with regards to great abundance. So there is a sense of loneliness maybe around lack of people in your life. At the base of the reading, you have the glory card, victory card, success. This is about feeling successful. And then in the mental sector up above, fortune and doorway. Fortune is like the great abundance, I Ching. So this is about, again, not just monetary fortunes, but fortunes of life, of love. And so, fortune doorway, there is a portal of fortune, there is a portal of success that you have experienced, that you felt. But look at the right side of the reading. You can see the death card, and then the left side of the reading, friendship. So there's an aspect of a death or a transformation of either one friendship, a person in your life, or many friends, friendships in general in your life. And it's counterparted with this wanting success, because in the foundations you have glory, victory. So you want success. Your mind is focused on a portal, a doorway into fortune. So you're wanting success with friendships that have died, or new friendships that you'd like to develop. But you'd like that to come about again. Now, the core is, with this feeling of loneliness, you're ready to enter a new doorway. Okay? You're wanting that. You're thinking about that. So now let's move to the Cancer circles. So Cancer circles, for you, the I Ching hexagrams that came forward, again, there were two. Number 26, the containment of potential, and it came with changing lines. And that hexagram became number 14, affluence. So yet again, we're receiving success. Affluence is about extreme movement, blossoming forward. There's a lot of flow, and now is the ripe time in order to take action on whatever's occurring in your life, to capitalize, let's say, on the success that's at hand. So for you, Cancer circles, there's a containment of potential for success. You see potential for success. Okay. Now, interestingly, your evolution this month is Mistress X, number 25. Mistress X came up for another sign as well this month. And what Mistress X is saying is, she is the dominatrix. And so she brings the picture forward of being dominated. And there's the power story. Who holds the power? Why do they hold the power? Why do we need to feel dominated? All of this. But what Mistress X is bringing up, Cancer, for you, who you are to evolve into and embody, is a release of shame. What this is saying for you is that there is a need to live out your deepest fantasies without guilt and shame. So it is about a narrative for you. You are to work through confronting and healing and releasing any guilt and shame that you hold with regards to your desires. With your desires, and by the way, this isn't just sexual desires. This is like the desires for your life, the desires that are inherent for your soul alignment, those which live naturally within you. But what Penny Slinger writes is, you may also need to explore these areas so that they no longer hold you in the thrall of fascination. Mistress X's portal is about power and the roles we play. Seek impeccability here. So this is about full integrity of what your deepest desires are and what the threshold hit is that lives in the space of fascination that puts you into a spiral or a feedback loop of imbalance. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and move to your spread. Now you can see here, first of all, I'm using my Siri deck. And in the middle of the reading, you can see, do not worry, cannot be known now, defend, and the wheel reversed. Now, this is an interesting message because what this is saying is, for the Cancer circle path, you're going to be in a space of not worrying about that which you don't know yet, that which remains a mystery, that which is held in the potentiality field. that is not defined yet, and that you're going to be able to defend not knowing. You don't need to know. You're not going to worry about it. You're actually going to go with the flow. Now, what the wheel reversed is talking about is that indeed something has not manifested yet. So something that you're wanting to make happen, and you can see the Lover's card over there in the right side. So this is probably about a relationship, a love relationship, that you are accepting that you're not going to worry about it. You don't know. You're not going to define it. You're going to defend it. And the fact is that the wheel hasn't turned yet. It hasn't turned yet. So you're going to live in the space of potential and hold the vision, even though things aren't moving in the area of lovers. Does that make sense? Down at the base of the reading is the connect and listen card. So for the circle path, you're going to be ears wide open, eyes wide open. You're going to be connecting at a very deep level to yourself and awake. You're going to have eyes wide open and awake to the connections. Up at the top of the reading, you can see the connection card and the humor card. So this is about you're going to be making connections as they are in your life, as is the reality of your life in the now. So you're going to be connecting and listening, paying attention to and intending to pay attention to the connections that you have. And thinking about connections with lightness, with humor, with an element of non-seriousness around it. And this very much goes to that do not worry card in the middle. So there's an element of really just living in the moment, appreciating the now, and still desiring for the potential that you want to become manifest, but not wallowing in any story about it doesn't happen for me, I am lonely, etc. It's about being open to the next iteration of when the wheel is ready to turn, you're going to meet it, Emotionally, you're going to be feeling very strong. You can see the strength card in the emotional sector. So you have strong feelings about maybe the desire for a lover, okay? Or to have connections. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. For some of you, this is just going to be friendships and love relationships, all kinds of relationships. But you might be feeling very strongly that indeed you do want lovers or friends to enter your reality. And I also see this for you as feeling grounded, feeling emotionally stable this month. So for the Cancer circles, there's going to be a strong emotional base that's going to help ground you and place you into a healthy perspective of all is well. I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to worry about what isn't. I'm going to focus on what the desire is. And I'm going to know that that is going to manifest when everything else aligns, when the context and circumstances align. So very beautiful, this. Okay, Cancer. So let's move on to the final components of your reading. Everyone, an exciting announcement. Throughout 2016, I've been called to bring forward a Learn Your Soul Print course, and indeed it's happening. January 2017, we'll have 3 live stream courses discussing key aspects of your astrology, your archetype encodings, and the Sabian symbology that lives within your soul print, your soul's blueprint, that really are foundational understandings to knowing what our natural alignment is. It is highly delicious. And so for those intrigued, this is a great price, and I encourage you to learn more about it. The web address is thealchemyofholism.com/soulprintcourse with hyphens between the words. And you can find the link below this video. So for those ready to start 2017 with clarity, with alignment, I highly, highly recommend learning about this course. An excellent price point. The goal for me to provide a course versus working one-on-one with clients, which is what I do, is so that I can help more people align to their stories. And this story is the natural alignment, the natural bliss state. So I look forward to seeing some of you very, very soon. Everyone, before I sign off and wish you a very good month ahead, an evolutionary, a rich and expansive month ahead, I want to remind you that in order to get your personalized Alchemy Scope with a spread, with an astrological assessment of your solar return, with a discussion of your Sabian symbology, of everything that's activated, including your transits, I urge you to make contact. The link is below. And this is a video that you're going to have permanent access to, so you can refer to it throughout the year. But there is about a 2-week lead time, so I encourage you, if you'd like to tap into what the whole of 2017 has in store for you, please go ahead and click the link below to place your order right away. Talk to you soon. Bye. You are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency.